Hello, this video can really change your life. Today, we're not just talking about making choices. We're talking about your whole life. Why? Because your life is simply a long line of choices you make. Every friend you have, every job you've had, every mistake you wish you didn't make, and every success you're proud of, all of them began with one thing: a decision. So today, I want to teach you something that will make your future much better forever. Something that will help you pick the right path every single time. This video isn't for those looking for quick fixes. It's for people who are ready to control their mind, their feelings, their time, and make choices like strong, clear, unstoppable people. They don't want to repent on their wrong and bad decisions. Let me ask you something. Have you ever made a silly choice late at night? Or said yes to something just to stop thinking too much? Or bought something randomly and then wished you hadn't the next day? That doesn't mean you are weak. It happens because of something called decision fatigue. Let me explain what that is. Imagine your brain has a battery. Every time you make a choice, even a very small one, that battery loses some power. If you ask questions, what clothes should I wear? What should I drink? Should I answer this message? Should I watch one more video? Should I look at my ex's page? Should I speak up or stay quiet? Each one of these choices takes away a little bit of your brain's energy. And when your brain's battery is low, you start to make bad choices. Not because you are a bad person, but because your brain is just too tired. Let me give you a real example. There was a study about judges in court. It showed that people who went before the judge in the morning had a much better chance of getting freed. But people who went late in the day, after lunch, almost never got freed. Why? Because the judges were tired. Their tired brains just thought, it's safer to say no. That's decision fatigue in real life, and it's quietly hurting your life. So, what's the answer? To make good choices, you need a clear mind, a full battery, a strong system, and a few simple, powerful rules. If you follow these simple rules, no doubt, you will get success in right decisions. Tip 1. Make small things easy. Save energy for the hard things. You don't need to make 50 choices every day. That's a trap. That's how you lose all your energy. Smart people make small choices. Powerful people make things simple. Think of Steve Jobs. He wore the same clothes every day. Why? To avoid wasting his brain's energy on something that didn't matter. Now, you might not wear the exact same thing daily, but you can make your life easier by setting routines for the small things. Here's what you can make automatic. Your morning routine. What you eat for meals each week. The clothes you wear for work. Your evening routine. When you exercise. Your study times. Why do this? Because every time you remove a small choice, you gain more power to make the right big choice. Imagine your brain only has a certain number of good choices it can make each day. Don't waste them on what cereal to eat or which shirt to wear. Skip scrolling social media accounts without a right and true purpose. Save that power for important questions like, should I quit this job? Should I end this relationship or not? Should I take this big opportunity? That is how you become a powerful decision maker. Take a deep breath. Look at your daily life. Ask yourself, what choices am I making every day that really don't matter? Now, remove them. Make them automatic. Simplify them. Because the truly important battles in life are not about your breakfast. They are about your future. Tip 2. Don't choose easy now. Choose better later. Most people make choices just for quick happiness. They want to feel good right now, so they pick the easiest way. They become impatient. They eat unhealthy food. They give up too early. They spend money they don't have. Or they stay in a bad relationship just to avoid being alone. But here is the truth. Feeling good right now often causes pain later. And having real peace later often comes from a little bit of discomfort now. When you pick what feels easy today, you are usually taking happiness away from your future self. But when you choose what is right today, you are giving peace to your future self. Imagine two friends, Alex and Ben. Both want to start a business. Alex spends his nights watching TV, scrolling on his phone and relaxing, saying, "I'll do it tomorrow." Ben spends his nights studying, working, and saving money while his friends go out. For a few months, Alex feels happy and Ben feels tired. But a year later, Ben's company is growing, and Alex is still saying, "Someday." That is the difference between pleasure now and peace later. So, before any big choice, ask yourself, will this give me peace in 1 year, or just a good feeling tonight? If it gives you peace, it's the right choice. If it only gives you pleasure, it's a trap. Because real peace will always be better than a quick, temporary good feeling. Tip 3. Stop emotional choices. Start the 10-10-10 rule. This rule will protect you from making emotional mistakes for the rest of your life. It's simple but very powerful. Whenever you face a difficult choice, stop and ask 3 questions. How will I feel about this in 10 minutes? How will I feel about this in 10 months? How will I feel about this in 10 years? In 10 minutes, you might still feel very emotional and tired. In 10 months, those strong feelings will likely be gone. In 10 years, only the results of your choice will remain. This rule helps you zoom out and see the bigger picture. Imagine you are angry at your best friend. You want to send a harsh message right now. But if you stop and ask these 3 questions, you will realize, in 10 minutes, you will feel proud that you didn't react quickly. In 10 months, your friendship will still be strong. In 10 years, you will thank yourself for staying calm. That is the power of distance. It separates strong feelings from smart thinking. So, next time you feel pressure to act fast, use the 10-10-10 rule. It will turn confusion into clarity. It will help you see your future before you accidentally ruin it. Tip 4. Only decide when calm, never when tired. Let's be honest, most people don't make bad choices because they are unintelligent. They make bad choices simply because they were tired, emotional, stressed, thinking too much, or it was late at night. You don't need a perfect brain to make good choices. You just need the right moment. And most people pick the wrong moment. Let's break it down. Imagine your brain is like a phone. When it's 100% charged, it's fast, focused, and clear. When it's below 10%, it freezes, slows down, and might shut off. It has no time to use anymore. That's exactly what happens to your mind. Every small choice throughout the day, what to eat, how to reply, what to wear, should I scroll or sleep, all of it uses up your mental battery. So, when it's finally time to make a big choice, like should I leave this job, or should I forgive them, your battery is already dead. And what happens when the battery is dead? You start thinking with your feelings, not with wisdom. You say yes when you should say no. You say no when you should say wait. You panic. You break. You run away. You settle. You shout. You give up. And the worst part is, you don't even realize it until the next morning. At this point, you will make the wrong decision. There's a reason why people cry at night. Why they send long, emotional messages at 2 a.m. why they think their life is over, their dream is dead, or their relationship is doomed after midnight. It's not because it's true. It's because your brain at night is not your real brain. It's tiring. It's foggy. It's full of emotions. Have you ever made a big choice at night, and then the next morning you thought, what was I even thinking? That's the difference between a tired mind and a fresh mind. So, what should you do when your feelings are strong? When your body is tired? When your heart is beating fast? When your mind is cloudy? Do nothing. Stop. Breathe. Sleep. Let the storm pass. Say this powerful sentence: I will not decide anything tonight. I will decide in the morning when I'm clear, calm, and strong. This one rule can save your relationships, your peace, your reputation, your goals, your happiness, and even your future. Let's say you're angry with someone. It could be your partner, your best friend, your boss. You want to send a long, emotional message. You want to fight. You want to quit. You want to say, I'm done. It feels like the right thing to do at that exact moment. But that moment is not real clarity. That's decision fatigue plus strong feelings plus nighttime. You go to bed angry. You wake up the next morning and read that message you almost sent. Suddenly, everything feels different. Your heart is lighter. Your mind is calmer. You think, I'm so glad I didn't send that. That's the power of waiting. Never trust your thoughts when your body is tired. Never trust your feelings when your mind is loud. Never decide when the world feels dark. Wait for the sun. Wait for the light. Wait for the morning. Because the decision you delay today might save your future tomorrow, your true happiness. Remember, this is the power of being patient, waiting, and it always brings the flowers of joy. Tip 5. Stop panic. Don't choose in a storm. Let me tell you something hard to hear. Some people ruin their lives in 5 minutes because they can't control their feelings. A man shouts something he can never take back. A woman quits the job she actually needed. A teenager blocks their parents in anger. A friend deletes years of memories over one fight. A person gives up on their dream just because they felt lost for a few days. Not because they are bad people, but because they made a lasting choice during a short-term strong feeling. Those fast, wrong choices cause regret, sadness, shame, and feeling isolated. Let me make this very clear. You are allowed to feel everything. Anger, fear, sadness, confusion, loneliness, frustration, even extreme rage. All of it is human. All of it is okay. But here's the rule. Feel everything. Decide nothing. Why? Because strong feelings are like storms. They come, they shake you, and they leave. But if you build something during a storm, like a house, a hut in it, it will be blown out. In the same way, if you try to make any decision in the storm, like a decision, a choice, a message, or a big move, it will never be stable. You have a partner you deeply love. You have a strong connection. But one day you fight very badly. In anger, you say things you don't mean. You slam the door. You say it's over. You say bad. You block them. You cry. You feel powerful. You feel hurt. 2 weeks later, you sit alone with a heavy heart. The anger is gone, but the damage is still there. Now you're not angry. Now you are full of regret. All of this could have been avoided if you followed just one rule. Never make a forever decision during a temporary emotion. You have a job you've worked hard for. You're frustrated, overworked, not paid enough. One day, your boss says something that really upsets you. You say, "I quit." You don't have a backup plan. You don't have another job or business. You don't have savings. You leave, and it feels good for a moment, but weeks later, reality hits. Now you feel silly, scared, lost. No way out. Why? Because the choice was made during a strong emotional moment, not with logical thinking. When your emotions are loud, sit still. When your heart is shaking, don't act. When the world feels broken, sleep. When you feel like reacting, respond by waiting. Use this rule like a command. If I feel strong emotions, I will not trust my brain. Wait 24 hours. Let your feelings calm down. Let your logical thinking return. Then decide. 1 second of silence can save you from 10 years of regret. 1 night of sleep can protect your entire future. 1 decision made with wisdom can change your whole life. So don't ruin your destiny because of a bad mood. Your emotions are not your enemy, but they are also not your guide. Choose clarity, not confusion. Choose patience, not panic. Choose life, not acting on impulse. Tip 6. Flip it. Take your own best advice. Have you ever noticed something strange? When it's your problem, you feel confused. But when it's your friend's problem, you suddenly know exactly what they should do. Why does this happen? Because when you are inside your own problem, your view is filled with emotions with less wisdom. But when you are outside the problem, your view is clear. That's why one of the most powerful tools for making choices is this. Flip the situation as flip the card. Let's say you are stuck in a tough spot. You're not sure if you should quit your job. You're not sure if the person you are going to marry is right for you. You're confused about whether to say yes to an opportunity or not. You're emotionally tired, scared, and afraid of picking the wrong choice. At that moment, instead of thinking like yourself, imagine your best friend came to you and said, "Hey, I'm in this exact situation. What should I do?" Now, suddenly, you're not confused. Your brain becomes calm. Your advice becomes clear. Your heart feels wise because when it's not your emotion, you see the truth. The storm is not inside you, but in your friend's heart. It will not disturb your emotions. You are calm and composed. That's why you will make the right decision. Imagine this. Your younger sister comes to you and says, "I'm with a guy who lies to me, disappears for days, but I love him. I don't know what to do." What would you tell her? You'd say, "Leave him. You deserve better. Love isn't supposed to hurt like that." You'd say it immediately, without confusion, without hesitation. Now imagine you are in the exact same relationship, but you keep doubting, waiting, forgiving, hoping, delaying. Why? Because your emotions are making you blind. But when it was your sister's problem, you saw the answer in seconds. From now on, whenever you're stuck and can't see the right choice, pretend someone you love is in this same situation. Imagine they're asking you for advice. Whatever you would tell them is the truth you need to hear. It's not magic. It's not fake. It's just creating distance from your own emotions. It is the use of your intellect, your wisdom, your brain in the true position and sense. And distance gives you wisdom. When you can't see clearly, change how you look at it. When your feelings are screaming, listen to your logic through someone else's story. The advice you give to others is often the truth you are afraid to accept for yourself. So, next time if your heart is loud and your head is lost, flip the question. Give yourself the love, clarity, and truth you'd give your best friend or family member. That's the decision you were looking for. Tip 7. Follow your own rules, not the crowd. Here's the final tip, and it is the most powerful of all. If you follow this for the rest of your life, you will never feel lost again. You cannot control the world. You cannot control every situation, every opportunity, every person. But you can control how you make choices by creating your own life rules. These are your standards, your values, your inner compass, your invisible protection. And once you create it, you check every single choice against it. Ask yourself this question: what are 3 things I will never change in my life, no matter what? I will only choose what gives me long-term peace. I will never do something that hurts my mental health. I will always stay honest, even if it's difficult. Now, every time you get a job offer, a relationship choice, a risk, or an opportunity, you don't decide with emotions. You simply ask, does this follow my rule? If the answer is yes to all 3, you move forward with full confidence. If the answer is no to even 1, you walk away. No doubts, no regrets, no confusion, because it removes decision fatigue. You no longer have to ask 10 people for advice. You no longer get stuck thinking too much. You no longer say yes to things that slowly ruin your life. You don't follow the crowd. You follow your core values. You follow your inner voice. You follow your rules. And people who live like this are calm, unstoppable, focused, respected, and rare. They don't chase everything. They don't fear missing out because they know who they are, and they only do what matches that. Let's say you get a job offer. High pay, a big title, but it means working for someone who lies, manipulates, and drains your energy. Now, emotionally, it feels like a great opportunity. But when you use your rule, it doesn't give peace. It damages your mental health. It goes against your values. You walk away, and guess what? A year later, you'll be proud you did, because you didn't sell your peace for money. You didn't trade your truth for temporary rewards. You chose strength. You chose clarity. You chose yourself. When the world pulls you in every direction, let your rule guide you. When everyone is chasing success, let your rule protect your peace. When your heart is confused, let your rule remind you who you are. Write your rule. Learn it by heart. Use it. And you'll never make a decision you regret again. Because strong people don't follow pressure. They follow their personal compass. They follow their rules to get their mental health. Strong to get a healthy and clear life. This is not only Rule 7, it is a treasure of keys to be a calm person. People find peace, but the real peace is in yourself. If you have peace, you are lucky. You are rich. You are stable and composed for the future. Tip 8. Reject the wrong, protect the right. Let me tell you a deep truth. You don't need more options. You need more clarity. Most people say yes to everything because they don't want to upset others. They feel pressured to please. They fear missing out. They don't want to seem rude, or they're afraid of losing chances. They want to look good. They do not hurt others. But here's the painful reality. Every weak yes creates strong regret. When you say yes too easily, you join things you don't believe in. You spend time on people who drain your energy. You take on work that makes you tired. You make promises that destroy your peace. You fill your day with noise and lose space for what truly matters. You give your time to others, but not to your tasks. You prefer others, but not to your goals. You waste your energy on others, but become energized for your decisions. Let's say Your cousin invites you to a weekend party. You're tired. You have a big exam. You're behind on your goals, but you feel bad saying no. So, you say yes. You go. You feel fake. You smile when you want to rest. You come back more tired, more behind, and more frustrated. You didn't say yes because it was right. You said yes because you didn't know how to say no. If it's not a clear yes, it's a clear no. People who live this way don't explain too much. They don't overthink. They protect their time, energy, battery, and brain like a treasure. And because of that, when the right opportunity comes, they have full energy, full focus, full presence. Saying no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you responsible. It means you respect your limits. You respect your time. You respect your life's mission. It's better to say no now than to say, I regret it later. Next time someone asks you something, pause. Ask yourself, if I say yes to this, what am I saying no to? Because every yes is also a no to something else. Your rest, your health, your goals, your priorities, your mental space. People who say yes to everything end up with nothing. People who say no to what is wrong make space for the life they truly want. So from today, don't say yes out of guilt. Don't say yes because of pressure. Don't say yes just to avoid conflict. Don't say yes just to make others happy. Say yes only when your inner self says, this matches who I want to become. But remember, it does not mean not to help others. Be proud of saying no to everyone. It means to say no to the ones, to say no to the people who waste your energy, your time, and your battery. Always think before you speak. Tip 9. You built this life. The power of 5 choices. This tip will wake people up like lightning. Most people feel like their life is out of control. They say, I don't know how I got here. Everything feels messy. My life just happened. But here's the hard truth. Your life didn't just happen. It was built, choice by choice. You are living inside the results of your last 5 big choices. Let's pause right now. Think deeply. What were the last 5 major choices you made in your life? The person you chose to love or trust? The job you said yes to? The city you moved to? The habit you started or gave up? The goal you chased or stopped chasing? The people you let stay in your life or didn't remove? Now look at your life today. Your peace, your pain, your progress, they are all connected to those 5 choices. That's not bad news. It's power. Because if your past choices built your life, then your next 5 choices can rebuild it too. That means you don't need permission. You don't need to wait. You don't need to stay stuck. You just need to choose differently. You just need to think and then choose wisely. Imagine someone named Alex. 3 years ago, he chose to stay in a job he hated. He married someone who wasn't honest. He stopped going to the gym. He started using social media for 5 hours daily. He said no to a chance to start his own project. Today, Alex feels lost, but he doesn't realize it wasn't bad luck. There were 5 choices. But if today Alex chooses to leave the job, to end the wrong relationship, to start walking every morning, to uninstall distractions, to take that online course he's been putting off, he leaves the useless scrolling. He leaves overthinking. Then 3 years from now, everything will change. That's the power of owning your choices. Most people live by accident. They go with the crowd. They follow the sheep's rule. They follow what's easy. They wait for someday, but someday never comes. If you want to live a life that feels peaceful, powerful, and proud, you must make choices on purpose. You must do something that will give you peace. Every yes you say, every no you say, every morning you wake up and choose something that is you designing your future. Your life is not built by luck. It's built by choice. It is built by your decisions. It depends on your yes or no. Your pain was a choice. Your peace can be too. Your regret came from a decision. So will your freedom. From today, stop running. Look back at your last 5 choices. Own them. Learn from them. Then say, my next 5 choices will be powerful, clean, and mine. Because your next 5 choices will decide your next 5 years. It can also decide your whole life's peace. Take time and choose wisely. Tip 10. Ask your future self, will this be a gift or a problem? Let me tell you something most people never think about. Every choice you make today is either a gift or a burden to the person you will become tomorrow. Your future self is always watching. Watching what you eat, watching who you trust, watching what you say yes to, watching how you use your time, watching who you become. And here's the deep truth. The pain you feel today is not from the past. It's from the you that didn't think about the future. It's from the you that didn't choose wisely. You took decisions in a rush. Love yourself. Be yourself. This is how most people make choices. I feel bored, so I'll scroll. I feel lonely, so I'll text my ex. I feel lazy, so I'll skip the gym. I feel sad, so I'll eat more. I feel pressured, so I'll say yes. But right now doesn't care about the future. And when tomorrow comes, you carry the heavy weight of today's choice. You carry it alone. No one will be with you who pressured you. No one will be with you when you scroll and waste your time. That's why this tip is so powerful. Before you choose anything, ask, will future me thank me for this or hate me for it? Will I survive in the situation which I imposed on myself? Will it be easy to follow others' rules and live like a slave? Imagine you're deciding whether to waste the entire evening watching random videos or study for an exam. The lazy part of your brain says, relax, enjoy. You've had a long day, but pause and ask, what would the future me, the one sitting in the exam hall, want me to do tonight? That version of you will beg, please prepare. Please don't betray me again. Please do the right thing. Please think of me. And if you do the right thing, your future self will sit in that exam and smile, saying, thank you. Thank you for not being weak when it mattered. You know what's beautiful? Your future self already knows the right decision. Why? Because that version of you has already felt the regret, felt the consequences, felt the rewards, felt the freedom. So when you connect to that version, you see clearly. This is not about fear. It's about self-love. Loving yourself enough to protect who you will become. Every time you're stuck in a choice, try this simple exercise. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself 6 months from now. Picture them looking at you. Ask, what would that version of me beg me to do right now? Then do it. Don't betray them. Don't hurt them. Don't weaken them. Because that future person is you, and they're counting on your choice. You don't just make choices, you make consequences. You don't just pick what feels easy. You build what you live with. So next time you're confused, say out loud, I don't live for right now. I live for who I'm becoming. That one sentence can rewrite your future. Do not always find the shortcuts. shortcut leads you to temporary peace. If today you are working in cold weather, you feel sleepy. You feel tired, but you work hard and smart. You sacrifice your hours of sleep. You will be on the next level in the next 3 to 6 months or in some years. Tip 11. When in doubt, choose growth, not comfort. Let me ask you something honest. How many times have you said no to something deep down you knew was good for you, just because it scared you, because it felt uncomfortable, because it stretched you, because it made you question who you are? That's the trap of comfort. Comfort is good in small amounts, but when you start making choices only to feel safe, your life begins to shrink. You stay in the wrong job. You stay with the wrong people. You avoid challenges. You never take risks. You protect your ego. You delay growing, and slowly you become a prisoner of your comfort zone. But actually it becomes a pain zone in the future. If a choice makes you nervous, but also excited, stretched, and alive, that's often the right one. That's the path of growth. But if a choice makes you feel safe, lazy, and stuck, that's comfort talking. And comfort will quietly steal your greatness. Let's say you have the chance to speak on stage or post your first video online. You feel terrified. Your brain says, but if I fail, what will people say? What if I'm not good enough? That's comfort trying to protect your old identity. But your future, better identity is waiting on the other side of that fear. So you ask, will this help me grow? If the answer is yes, that's your decision. Growth always feels scary before it feels powerful. It takes time. It takes your energy. That's how it works. Growth choices are hard because they need courage. They challenge your old self. They break your excuses. They change your relationships. They force you to become better. They force you to say no. But they are also the only way to become the person you were born to be. If you only choose what's easy, you'll live the same year 75 times and call it a life. Ask this whenever you're stuck. Does this choice make me grow or keep me small? If it makes you grow, do it. Even if it's hard, even if you're not ready, even if you feel like running away, because growth is the door to your future. Don't chase comfort, chase change. Don't fear stretching yourself. Fear standing still. Fear of not doing something beneficial. Don't stay small just because it feels safe. The right choice is often the harder one, but it's also the one that makes you stronger, wiser, bolder, and freer. So from now on, every time you feel fear, ask yourself, am I afraid or am I growing? Then step forward and watch your entire life change. This is not just tip 11, but it is a dose to awake yourself and recognize yourself. Recognize the time of growth. Try to excel whether it takes years. But believe in yourself that one day you will be successful. Tip 12. Fast decisions cause regret. Slow decisions bring peace. Let's talk about something that quietly ruins people's lives. Not because they are weak, not because they are foolish, but because they were rushed. You've felt it before. Hurry, take the offer now. If you don't say yes now, it's gone forever. Everyone is watching. Decide quickly. The clock is ticking. Don't miss your chance. This is how people get trapped. This is how they say yes to jobs, loans, relationships, investments, and situations that hurt them later. They didn't choose peace. They chose from pressure. The right decision never comes from panic. It comes from being present and calm. If someone is rushing you, pause. If your mind is racing, breathe. If the world says now or never, choose never unless your heart says yes with calmness. Because the fastest way to regret it is to say yes too fast. It is to say yes without thinking with wisdom. Do not try to achieve it with shortcuts. It will hurt you. Let's say you're offered a partnership in a business. The offer looks good. You're excited. But they say you must decide today. Otherwise, they'll give it to someone else. Your heart races. You want to say yes, but inside, something feels wrong. That's your inner wisdom saying, slow down, ask questions, think deeply. Do not take sudden decisions. But if you ignore it and say yes in the rush, you might wake up a year later stuck in a disaster. So here's the rule. If it feels forced, pause. If it feels peaceful, proceed. Fire is fast, loud, hot, and dangerous. Water is calm, clear, steady, and powerful. Make decisions like water. When it feels rushed, you're not thinking clearly. When it feels peaceful, your inner truth is speaking. When it feels like someone is manipulating you, it's a trap. When it feels right and clear, it's the correct path. Take your time when others want you to go fast. And when your inner self says, this is right, don't delay. Not every fast opportunity is a good one, and not every slow decision is weak. Slow down when things feel pushed. Speed up when your spirit says go. Your timing will protect your destiny. Tip 13. Stop picking between A and B. Create option C. This tip is a secret weapon. It's not just about choosing between option A or option B. It's about realizing that sometimes the best decision is to remove both options. Most people stay confused because they are choosing between two bad options. Should I stay in this bad job or be unemployed? Should I marry this person I don't love or be alone forever? Should I cheat a little to win or stay poor? Should I lie to protect myself or lose everything? They suffer because they don't realize there's always a third option, the one your heart is afraid to imagine. Sometimes the right decision is to walk away from both choices, to wait and build a better path, to set higher standards for yourself, to remove the pressure completely, to say, these are not my only two choices. I don't owe anyone an answer based on a bad question. Imagine someone named Maria. She's been in a painful relationship for years. She knows it's not right. Her partner lies, tries to control her, and uses up her energy. But she keeps asking herself, should I stay and be unhappy, or leave and be alone forever? She's stuck, not because there's no solution, but because her question is wrong. She needs to realize there's a third path, to heal, to grow, to rebuild herself, and one day meet someone who truly sees her. That option isn't instant, but it's real. The others are just traps made by fear. Your brain can only decide based on what you show it. If all you see are two bad doors, you'll walk through one, thinking it's the only way. So, here's the powerful change. If no option gives you peace, don't choose. Wait, learn, grow, create a new option. That's not a weakness. That's mastery. Ask these questions before you choose. Am I choosing between fear and fear? What would I do if I wasn't scared? What option would I choose if I believed I deserved better? Is this choice making me smaller or freer? Sometimes it's not about picking the better choice. It's about removing the wrong ones completely. Stop forcing yourself to choose between stress and sadness. You are allowed to say, this isn't the life I want. I will wait. I will build better. I will choose again. Sometimes the most powerful decision is to say none of the above and walk toward a future only you can see. And one day life will be not even better, but become so beautiful to live in. So now you know, your life is not built by chance, not by luck, not by dreams. Your life is built by decisions. Small, quiet, invisible choices made when no one is watching. Made when you're scared. Made when you're tired. Made when you're about to give up. But every time you choose peace over panic, growth over comfort, truth over pressure, purpose over pleasure, you don't just make a better decision, you become a better person. So from today, stop waiting, stop avoiding, stop running, decide. Decide with clarity, decide with courage, decide with love for your future self. Because one powerful decision made with full truth can rewrite your whole story. And if this video helped you, if it made you pause, if it made you think, if it spoke to your soul, then don't just watch it. Own it. Let this be the moment you say, from today, I live with intention. I choose my path. I will protect my peace. Subscribe to this channel to hear truth, to build you up, to remind you that your life is still yours to shape. Hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment like, "This helped me." Share this with someone who's feeling confused right now. Because together, we're not just making content. We're making clarity. We're making change. We're making the new, better version of you. And it all starts with one powerful decision.